Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am all barefaced right now because I am about to do a beauty video with you guys. So this is pretty much my beauty favorites, current beauty favorites, but also I'm going to talk about some of my beauty must-haves that I cannot live without, stuff that I've been using for years. And these items can also be stuff that you can gift yourselves or you can gift someone else. And I'm going to do my makeup all at the same time. This video is sponsored by Nordstrom. If you guys are not already shopping Nordstrom's beauty section, then you're definitely missing out, because if you're like me, I've been shopping at Nordstrom for years now. And if you're already shopping at Nordstrom but you're not taking advantage of their beauty section, then you're definitely missing out, just because it could definitely be your one-stop shop. Everything that I'm gonna wear today and show you guys is available at Nordstrom right now, and I will have direct links for you guys to shop all these beauty items in the description box below, so be sure to check that out before you leave. So let's begin. I've already prepped my face and now I'm gonna do primer. I always use primer before applying foundation. If you guys are not using primer, I don't even know. If you start using primer, you're gonna understand why I talk about this a lot. It just gives for the smoothest, flawless base when applying your foundation and everything that has to do with makeup. So one primer that I love so much that I've been using all year, I've even had the travel size of this. That's how I got started on using this Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer from Smashbox. So I'm just going to apply all over my face. A lot of people recently have been commenting on my makeup, liking it, liking how nice it looks, and I really kind of alluded to that primer. There is another primer that I've also used for super long. It's by Hourglass. It's their Veil Primer that I highly recommend. It's a lot thinner than that one, but it's such a good primer. All right, next up is foundation. So I have so many foundations. There are so many foundations that I absolutely love, but my number one foundation right now that I have been using for the past year, maybe year and a half, and I stopped using it for a while to use other ones, and then now I'm back to it and I just am still in awe. It is this Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. If you guys have not tried this foundation yet, I really think that you're missing out. I don't know what it is. It's such a good foundation, and I've even heard Jaclyn Hill talk about this foundation, how this is probably her favorite foundation, and how she kind of downplayed it when she would hear about it from other people talking about it. She didn't want to love it, but as soon as she tried it, she couldn't stop using it. So I definitely agree. This is their undetectable medium to full coverage foundation. It's oil free. So even if you're like me and you get oily later on throughout the day, this is just gonna still look really nice. So this and the primer are two things that I really also allude, you know, kind of my makeup. I love a good base of makeup. I'm not one to go crazy with makeup. So for me, what's important is how smooth my face is and how nice of an application I get when I put on foundation and things like that. And then I'm just using this brush by Hourglass. I've been using this brush a lot. I really like how small it is, so it's easy for my hand. So I've just been applying foundation first with this, and then I'll go in with this tried and true beauty blender, which is another must have. I feel like every woman in the world has a beauty blender, but if you're not a beauty blender user yet, you're gonna wanna get yourself one. This is just one of the things that you need if you're a person that uses makeup. I think pretty much every makeup artist has this in their makeup box, makeup stash, makeup storage. Anyway, there's nothing quite like a beauty blender. I have tried other makeup sponges out there and I just keep going back to this one. So this is another can't live without product must have. I've been using this thing for I don't know how many years. I've gone through so many beauty blenders out there. The color that I use is Praline, and I literally only use one pump. So this is medium to full coverage, so you definitely can build on this foundation. So as far as gifting goes, I would definitely gift a beauty blender just because I feel like you can't go wrong and people are always gonna need to refill their beauty blender or replace their beauty blender. So I just wanna show you how nice this foundation is up close, but towards the end, you're just gonna see everything come together. So what I'm also gonna do is do like an everyday makeup and just show you a little bit on how to make it a little more holiday. Okay, so that's my foundation. I didn't even finish the whole pump. I pretty much used just like half the pump. So then I go in and I kind of like to tap that all in, make sure it kind of settles into my skin. I feel like that's how you get a really, really nice base when it comes to makeup, is when you really just kind of work on the foundation of it, give it time. And I also feel like that's how it stays on for a long time, is when you really, really set it in. All right, next up is concealer. And I don't know if I'm being biased, but I just really love this concealer by Born This Way. This is the multi-use sculpting concealer, and you can see the size of this concealer is pretty large, so it's gonna last you a really long time. I also really love how much coverage this gives you. You really don't need much of this. Like, you literally need the smallest amount and it covers you up really, really good. If you have dark circles, if you just want to look brighter under there, like I always do, you're gonna love this concealer so much. You could sculpt with this, find a darker color to bronze and contour. This could be your travel size buddy. You can do so much with this. So I'll just show you how nicely it applies and how little product you need. So I'm just spreading it out, and already you can see how much product spreads out evenly and how little product I applied and how bright it is too. That's why I love this thing. All right, so I love a bright under eye, so you can already tell how much brighter, how much it covered, how well this concealer works. So again, Born This Way concealer, Born This Way foundation, you need it in your life. It is a product I cannot live without. Again, you can find these at Nordstrom. All right, so I highlighted under my eyes, my forehead, kind of carved out a little bit on my cheeks here, and then added some to my chin and the center of my nose, and even just that, it looks really nice. All right, next up I'm gonna do my brows, and these are 2 brow pencils from Benefit that you can get at Nordstrom. I've been loving these because it's just made my life a little bit easier when it comes to filling out my brows, which also don't mind my brows because I'm kind of just growing them out so they're wild and crazy and just totally not manicured and not tamed. This is the Precisely My Brow by Benefit Brow Pencil. So this one I'm using in the color 4.5. I use this just to kind of outline my brows first, and then I'll fill it in with number 3, which is a lot lighter. The nice thing about these is that they come with a spoolie already. So I just kind of brush my brows up, and their whole line of brow products is just amazing. Alright, so as you can see, I just kind of drew in the bottom part of my brows. Now I'm going to take number 3 and just fill them in. My brows are pretty sparse, so I kind of have to overfill. And I like using little hair strokes, especially for the front, just to imitate the hairs that are not there. Same with the top part. So instead of drawing a straight line across, I'll pretend that there is an imaginary straight line going across the top, and instead of, again, doing the line across, I'll just do hair strokes just like that. That's kind of how I outline my brows. So I don't know if you can see that. And then I'll just fill it in the same way. All right, so that's pretty much how I do my brows. All right, so that's filled in. I'm just gonna use the spoolie side to kind of blend it all together. So a lot of people ask about kind of like the gradient, and I talk about that gradient in the front a lot, and I just take the spoolie and I just brush up and to the side. Basically, whatever product's here at the front of the brow, I'm just using it to spread it and to kind of blend it and to kind of create a fade or a gradient. And I never like to put like a harsh line in the front just because it's kind of unnatural. And so that's how I try as much as possible to make it natural, because I'm already so unnatural with how much I fill my brows in. So I need to try as much as possible to make them look as real as I can. All right, so that's pretty much how I do my brows. I also like to clean it out. So I'm gonna use this Highbrow Glow. This one's also from Benefit. So I basically just go under the brow and I'll take this brush by Sigma, just kind of clean it up. All while just kind of adding a highlight where the brow bone is, and then just kind of drag the product down to blend it. All right, so my brows are done and I love them. So one last thing I wanted to show you guys, just to kind of make my brows blend in nicely with my hair. I like calling it adding highlights to my brows. This is the Tinted Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This I've been using for years, like I don't even know how long, longer than 3 years. Again, with this, I stopped using it for a while just because I was using some other products that I wanted to try. And now I'm back to it and I love it. Just because if I have or feel like my brows are a little too dark, they just kind of add some caramel highlights. The color of this one is also called Caramel. So you can already see kind of like the difference between this brow and that brow. And it's a brow gel too, so it just kind of holds them all together. And I always brush up and to the side. All right, so I realized I jumped too quickly to my brows and I forgot to set my face and to talk to you guys about setting powders. Setting powder is super important to me because it's something that, again, helps keep my makeup lasting all day or for as long as it can. A beauty product that I cannot live without, one that gets me through any holiday. So if you're really looking for a really good setting powder that is super fine, that is not super heavy, it is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It is called the Airbrush Flawless Finish because it really is a flawless finish. Look how much I've used. I need a new one. So this I like to use to set my powder, or I like to just bring it with me in my purse in case I need to set later on. There's only 3 colors in this: light, medium, and dark, I believe. I'm using the color medium. This is seriously one of the best. I die for it. It is something I cannot live without. So the only thing that I don't love about this powder is that it doesn't come with its own sponge. So if you were to throw it in your purse, you would need to bring a separate brush. But I do have a kind of touch-up powder that I love that comes with its own sponge, and it's this one by Laura Mercier. It's called the Shine Control Pressed Setting Powder. So like I said, it comes with its own sponge already. It's just like this white powder that anytime you feel like your face needs a touch up or you're getting a little too oily, you just kind of dab this on your nose or whatever T-zone or whatever parts of your face that needs it. And this does a really, really good job. It doesn't make you look cakey, and you don't need a lot of this product either. And Laura Mercier is just a really, really good beauty product. So this one you can also find on Nordstrom. Speaking of Laura Mercier, I want to talk about her translucent setting powder right here. So this is a product I think I will always have. in my makeup stash. She has this one and she has other colors besides translucent. I just feel like this translucent one works for all skin types, all skin tones, universal. I also love her Secret Brightening Powder. It's more of a white powder for under your eyes if you want just like a really, really bright look. So I love that one, and I've used that one for so many years. It is a product that I absolutely love. This one I've also always had. This one you can actually use both as a all over face setting powder or just like an under eye concealer setting powder, which I'm gonna use right now. What I used to do is I used to use this as a all over face setting powder, and I used to use the Secret Brightening Powder to set my under eyes to get that really nice look. But now I'm just revisiting this translucent one. I've been using this one for a couple weeks now, and it's just one of those things that I forgot how much I loved. So many makeup artists use this, so many YouTube makeup people use this as well. It's just one of those OG products that I feel like people know about, and it's always gonna be good. All right, so that's that. My face is set, so you can already see, like, I just really like how nice my face looks. This is just my base. So again, setting powder is something extremely important that I feel like you need, at least I need, in order to make my makeup last long, to keep it still and not move. It's extremely important. And again, this Laura Mercier one is something that I cannot live without. You should definitely try it out. All right, next item I want to talk about is bronzer. Bronzer is like necessary in my life. Always get asked about the bronzer that I use, and it's this one by Becca. I've been using this Becca bronzer in Ipanema Sun for such a long time. It's such a beautiful bronze color right here. Isn't that super pretty? It kind of has a slight sheen, but I don't really notice it. It's not gonna be like glittery. I like this one because it goes with like my many shades throughout the year, whether I'm lighter than what I am right now, whether I'm darker from being on vacation, being on the beach. And I feel like this is nice on a lot of people and a lot of different skin tones. So this is one that I get asked about all the time, and this is what it is. It's by Becca. And then next I want to talk about this brush, because this is another one that I use in so many videos where people are like, oh my goodness, what is this brush? So this is what I use to apply contour and bronzer. It's like a super thick and dense fan brush that really just makes your contour and bronzer application so much faster, easier, and it's very concentrated on your cheekbone area. I first saw I Love Sarai using this, Karen, if you don't know her, on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, I have to try that brush. But this is a Sigma fan brush. It's the F90. I use a lot of Sigma brushes. I think they're one of the best brush brands out there. And again, you can find this at Nordstrom as well. They're just such good brushes. So this is what I use. And I'm gonna show you how I apply this bronzer with this brush. Pretty self-explanatory. I do have a little bit of contour on my face, but I'm just gonna add some to the top. I always like to separate my chin from my neck. So there you go, just a nice glowy bronze, and then I just like to buff it out a little bit. This one is a Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush that I have been using for years. This is my favorite to just kind of buff out any harsh lines, make everything look smooth. All right, so a couple ride or dies in case you missed it. These three: Becca bronzer, fan brush, buffing brush, Sigma. All right, next I want to talk about blushes. You may have already seen me use this in other videos, but I just love these brushes. Again, by Laura Mercier. I just love that brand so much. So I'm gonna use two blushes today. First, I'm gonna use Ginger. Then I'm gonna go in with Peach, because I like my neutrals and then I like a little bit of pop. Just gonna add some Ginger to my cheeks. Then go in with some Peach. All right, now I'm gonna take some Ginger and apply that to my eyelids on the crease. Such a pretty crease color. All right, next up, I'm gonna show you guys this holiday palette from none other than Too Faced. So just look how pretty this palette is right here. Look at all these beautiful colors that you can use for holiday, but at the same time, I feel like this is such a great palette because it's so versatile for holiday and just every day. So this is called the Gingerbread Extra Spicy Palette. Anyway, I'll link it for you guys down below. Smells like sweet baked goods. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and finish up my eye look with this palette and make it a little more festive but still neutral. So I want to take Gingerbread Glam right here to kind of darken up the crease a little bit. And then I'm gonna take Extra Spicy right here. In case you're wondering, I use the Tapered Blending Brush by Sigma. This is the F40. And then I'm gonna take this MAC 275 brush. This is what it looks like. I just kind of want a more defined crease, I guess. Just go like that. Then I'm just gonna go in and blend it all out. This is the Sigma E25. All right, now I'm going to cover my lid up with this Candy Queen right here. Then I'm just going to add this just to the center, just to brighten it up a little bit. Just like that. All right, so my eyes are done. This is probably the most you'll ever see me with eye makeup. So if you guys are looking for a good holiday palette, this would be such a good gift. And this would also just be such a good gift for yourself. Like I said, it's very versatile. All right, I wanna add some highlighter to my cheeks a little bit. I'm using the Sigma Duster Brush. This is the F37, and I'm using this Bare Minerals Free. So I just wanna say, I'm not a big highlighter person, but I love this highlighter. It goes with pretty much every makeup look, and it's super subtle, nothing crazy, because I don't like such a crazy highlight. And then I'm gonna add some of this highlighter to my brow bone. I'm gonna do a little bit here. I also can't forget about under my lids, so I'm gonna go in with the Gingerbread Glam, the color I kind of started off with this palette. I don't like too much under there. This is the Sigma E34. Then I'm just gonna go back in with Extra Spicy and just kind of like make a really thin line to kind of match the top. All right, next it's time for my lashes. This eyelash curler I cannot live without. This is by Lancome, and if you're not already using a lash curler to curl your lashes, then you need to. All right, lashes are curled. See the difference from before? All right, I just added some waterproof mascara just because that just always helps my lashes keep its curl really nicely. But I wanted to talk about another Too Faced product that I love. This is the Better Than Sex mascara. This one is so good. So I'm just gonna add it as a second layer of mascara. So for me, I like to go all in with mascara. I can do 2 layers, I could do 3 layers, I can do 4 layers. That's just kind of what gives the false lashes effect. All right, there's my lashes. Okay, let's do lips now. We're pretty much almost done. So one beauty product that I cannot live without is this Kopari Lip Love. It's literally the softest lip balm. You could even use it as a gloss. It just feels so nice on the lips. And look how many I have. Right now I have 4 just in my beauty drawer right here, just because it's so I don't even know. And I just keep buying it over and over and over again. You will love it, I promise. I have not heard one person say that they hate this thing. Okay, and then I wanted to talk about 2 lip liners that I feel like are definite lip liners that I will always have, I think, for forever. So these 2, even if I'm not currently using them, I just feel like these are always a good go-to, always a good default. One is MAC Spice right here. You can tell how much I've already used. I'm not gonna use it on my lips today, but just to show you, this is what the color looks like. It's just so pretty. This one I get a ton of questions about. It's tried and true, So many people out there use this one. It's good, I feel like, on every skin tone. And then a tie. I'm just kind of torn, and that's why I'm mentioning two of these. This one is called Hazelnut Tea by Laura Mercier, and it's kind of similar to Spice, but I kind of feel like this one is a little bit creamier, but at the same time, Spice is gonna stay put on your lips. So if you can see the color right there, it's just such pretty nude liners that will go with any nude lipstick. So lips are just like my thing. Like, I love a good lip color. I feel like I need good lip colors just because I don't go too crazy with my makeup. And so that's why I kind of have a lot of different liners and things like that. So today I'm gonna use Hazelnut Tea. I already kind of have it outlined on my lips right now, but I'm just gonna go in a little more, kind of define it. And then another ride or die. This is one I've already purchased the second time around. I've used the first one that I had to its core, and this one I just repurchased because I realized this is one of those lipsticks that I will always have in my drawer or in my purse. It's just a default in case I just don't know what else to wear. This is gonna be it. This one is Bare Minerals Spice. So how pretty is that? I just feel like it goes really nicely with that liner, both the MAC liner and the Laura Mercier liner. Then to kind of top it all off, I'm just gonna use this Laura Mercier gloss. This one's called Bellini. This is another always must-have. This is just another gloss that I feel like I'll always keep and always repurchase. And then to just top it off, to make sure everything stays put all day long, all throughout the holidays, this is Urban Decay's All Nighter Setting Spray. If you're not using setting spray, I just changed your life. So this is gonna keep your makeup on all night and all day, and it's just one of those things that you need. This is something that I will always have, and if you use a lot of powders like me, this is definitely going to kind of bring it down so that your face is not so powdery and let it look more natural and kind of lived in. All right, you guys, so that is it for my beauty favorites, some of the must-haves that I cannot live without. And then also I created for you a kind of simple, everyday, neutral holiday look. For those of you guys who are like me, that maybe don't like to go too crazy. And also some of these items are just really great gifts to give yourself or other people that you love. Again, everything that I mentioned will be linked in the description box below. They're all available at Nordstrom, or you can find it on Nordstrom.com. Thank you so much for watching, spending your time with me. I'll see you in my next video.